Mangoes, they're not good. I said they're the best bananas, the best mangoes in the world, with Mangifera indica. They don't travel well. I said because they're going to eat. Yeah? I mean, now you have this pukey yellow banana all year round, the thick skin. They tried, the first genetic engineering was a flavored savor tomato. You could throw it on the wall and it would come back in your hand as a ball, because it was engineered to not rot.
Right.
It failed. I mean, there was no movement at that time. We have a movement now on the GMO question. So the suicides are very linked to the debt question. And the debt question is linked to the invisibility of the costs and burden of input that the farmer pays. On the other hand, is the fact that the farmer isn't being paid a fair price. And there are three levels of polarization. The first is that the costs, for the first time, the costs of production are much higher than what the farmer earns. It's a negative economy to start with. So that's the first polarization. The second polarization is, I did a study in 92, we did a later study, and earlier the difference between the farmer's price and the wholesale price and the retail price used to be 6%. Because it was guided by the fact that no trader should make more than 2%. And basically there were maybe 3 hands that changed the food. Then it dropped with a 50% polarization. The price of the food kept going up and the price the farmer got kept going down. And now, I think it's about 90%. This very, very good. Morissette was a World Bank official and he said, we must understand that behind the polarization of prices is this handful of players. So who are the handful of players? I mentioned the cartel of 3 who decide the chemical input and the seed. And why did I start Nafdania? Because this cartel was saying 87, we'll own the last seed. We'll take patents. We'll do genetic engineering. I said, you can't take a patent on a seed. You don't invent it. It's not a machine. And I started saving seeds and started Nafdania and built the organic movement. But I also did the work with our parliament and our government. And we passed an amendment of the patent law, which is Article 3J, which says plants, animals, seeds are not inventions. Now the power of lies, you could see, a week ago you must have seen Monsanto said they got a patent from the Supreme Court. First of all, the Supreme Court doesn't give patents. Patent offices give patents. And the patent office rejected 90% of Monsanto's claim because of Article 3G. So they don't have a patent, but they collected royalties. Now they're suing the companies. It's a tedious story. It's all in a new book we've done called Origin. Basically, where does knowledge and life begin? And it's about all the biodiversity laws, the farmers' rights law, the IPR, patent law, all these 30 years of history of this country and all the case material and all the biopiracy cases we have fought, the neem, the basmati, the wheat, and a list of 9,000 patents on our indigenous knowledge. There's also very, very good synthesis we've done of our research in different dimensions, on climate, on pest control, on water conservation, on nutrition, and it's called Biodiversity, Agroecology and Regenerative Organic Farming. All of these books are available from publishers, so you can order them. I've been kind of coming at midnight and leaving at 3, so I didn't have an opportunity to collect a set. Otherwise, I'd be very happy to bring them and give them to you. But I hope your libraries will order these and that you will read them. The last thing I want to say is, we found by shifting to nutrition per acre rather than yield per acre, and intensifying biodiversity and nutrition, we can grow enough food on small farms and biodiverse farms to feed 2 times India's population. There needs to be no hunger, there needs to be no second child wasted and stunted, and every 4th Indian hungry. It's a totally solvable issue. And it's an SDG obligation of zero hunger by 2030. It's doable, it's just that we have to learn to not be lobbied all the time by the cartels. They're the problem. They're the ones who get to the offices. Then we did another, so we have a report called Health Per Acre. It's available on the Navdanya website, you can look at it, where we converted the biodiversity data into nutrition data. And then we did true cost accounting of farming systems. And the two results I'll share very briefly with you is, if you take the externalities to the damage to farmers, their death, their suicides, and the environmental damage, our book has a $1.3 trillion externality. That's nearly as much as the GDP. Destroyed soils, water, death of pollinators, poisoning of animals, poisoning of farmers. But if you add to it the health costs from a food system that is nutritionally empty, plus loaded with chemicals, I would say it's another 1.5 trillion. So basically, a bad food system is costing us 3 times more than our GDP. And a good food system would have positive externalities, probably which would be 5 trillion if we start seeing all the functions, the ecological functions and services of doing the right kind of farming. But then we went to our actual farmers, our members of Navdanya, who save seeds, who do ecological farming, and who set the market. They decide what the price will be. They don't let the market decide the price. And we work with them to create these distribution networks. So we call it Beet Swaraj, Anna Swaraj, Bhu Swaraj, because the land is theirs. And, Bengal, you are the state whose current politics is based on Bhu Swaraj. It grew out of Singhur. It grew out of Nandigram, where Didi said, Ma Mati Manush. I wish the country would wake up to Ma Mati Manush. Where the country will go in 2019, Mayor, we don't know. But Ma Mati Manush should definitely take precedence, no matter who comes to power. We did calculations with our farmers on different things. The typical commodity being promoted, hybrid rice versus good rice like basmati. Hybrid corn versus the millets like ragi. BT cotton versus organic cotton. Soya bean versus our nice rajma from Chakrota. Across the board, a 10 times higher net income with seed sovereignty and determination of their own system. We have a doubling farm income agenda. No, we can go 10 times more, we can go 20 times more if we have sustainability, fairness, honesty in the food equation. And I know with your kind of community, you will both be doing better research in the process. But